Hello everyone, this is Kyle at Metanoia, and how are you feeling today? You feeling good? I'm feeling pretty good. I haven't made a video for like, I don't know, maybe a week or so, but I have just been busy just doing other things, but I feel like making one this morning, so yeah, that's where we're at. I've got work in like 2 hours, so yeah, I can't be too long on this video. But there is something that, or like a message that I want to get across to people, and I will make more videos about this in the future, but for today, it's just a little reminder, and it's, well, I wrote a quote down, and it was healing, it's to do with healing, and it's healing isn't pretty, but neither's not healing. So when I mean healing, I mean like, I feel like a lot of people have got themselves into certain situations, like especially me, like a couple of years ago, I felt like I was in such a rut that I couldn't get out of, and I always knew that the deeper I dug the hole, it was like, it wasn't going to get any easier, but and it was always like, even though I was trying to what's the word? Like, what's the word? I was trying to make myself happy through all these like external things. It just weren't working, and what has changed with me is doing all of these little habits, and doing all of these hobbies, and following my heart, just learning who the inside of me actually is, and that's different for everyone. For someone else that could be, I don't know, there could be something, I don't know, you might want to be like a dancer or something, but you've never pursued dancing. You've always, I don't know, maybe you had an injury and like you couldn't pursue it because you couldn't do a somersault, I don't know, and it was too much of a challenge. But healing's all about going inside and taking that time for yourself that or that you need to take, for you to actually get to a point where you can fulfill your potential. Like when we're younger, I feel like when we're younger, we get to like a certain point in our lives, and we can take the leap of faith, or we don't. And a lot of the time, people don't take it. It's not a bad thing necessarily at all. It's just something that happens. It's through naivety and lack of knowing and understanding. And then so you get to like a certain age, and what can happen is you can drift away from who you actually are. Like, I feel like kids are more connected to who they actually are. And when they get brought into the world, and they get brought up by their parents, they take on their parents' like personalities, their traits, their habits, sometimes their interests, like that kind of stuff. Like, they take on someone else's stuff unknowingly, replacing it with or thinking that they're replacing it with what they actually are. And this isn't always necessarily a healthy thing, because if your interests are completely different, then you're taking on someone else's stuff. So you get to a certain point, and yeah, you get to a certain point, and you realise, you're like, what am I actually doing? Like, I'm just floating around in this world on this giant rock, floating through space, and I've got no fucking idea what I'm actually doing with my life. Like, you go out with your friends, who aren't really your friends. You're on a bloody course, a university or college that you've got no fucking interest in whatsoever, but you're still doing it because you either don't know what you want to do, or you're fulfilling your parents' unfulfilled desires, whatever reason, and we lose ourselves. And the point is that you can get to that point again. Like, no matter how bad things get, no matter how far down the road you get, no matter how big of a hole you dig, no matter how much you fill in the hole and concrete it and cement it, like there is a way to bash out of it. Like there is always a way out. There's always hope. Like you, even if you feel like you're broken and you're down to the ground, like you can turn that into such a positive thing. Like when you're down and out, you've got nothing to lose. Like when you've got nothing to lose, when your back is against the wall, like that is when you can be your strongest. And what I did for me in my life was I felt like I was in that hole. I felt like I was I was in such a bad like mind state. I was in such a bad vibe. I just had no idea. Like I was in such a abysmal place. Like, I literally felt like I wasn't even alive. Like, yeah, that just was it. But I started taking time because that's what it takes. It takes time to heal myself. And yeah, I started doing research about certain things. For me, the two, I've already spoke about this before, but the two for me was meditation, which is basically just focusing on your breathing and coming back to the present moment. So it stops you from thinking about all these things. Like a lot of the time we amplify our problems through our brains. Like we start creating things that aren't even there. And like that it's not conducive with us healing. Like we need to just, like that just makes things worse. So coming back to the present moment, coming back to your breath, was a great thing for me. I started doing it daily. I went through periods of doing it for like an hour, went through periods of doing it for 5 minutes. It doesn't actually necessarily matter. Well, I think what matters is taking the time out for yourself, and doing it, yeah. And the second one for me was yoga. Yoga was absolutely massive. Yoga saved my life. I'm going to make videos on this as well. But yoga literally saved my life. Like, it was so, like, I felt, like, my mind state was, I felt broken because my body was broken. Like, I'd always took my pride from working out and like exercising, and it got to a point where I couldn't anymore. And I'd given up on my body. I'd give up on it for a long time. And like now, like, I'm healed. Like, it's crazy. Like, I took the time out. I'm not saying I don't have problems to get through. Like, there are problems to overcome, but it's all about overcoming them and powering through them and learning about them and learning about just how to deal with your problems, yeah, and overcoming obstacles. Like, that's what life is about. That's where you grow. That's where growth comes from. There was other things as well. It was getting rid of a lot of the things that weren't serving me. So like friendships, habits, hobbies, and replacing them with new things. Like, so for good ones. So for instance, instead of seeing people that didn't really care for me, I started spending time with people that do care about me. Instead of habits, instead of, I don't know, smoking, I started doing what exercise I could, or I started reading, for instance. Reading was a big one. Hobbies, yeah, reading. Hobbies. I started doing music instead of just going out, and I don't know, like, it's so easy to just go outside and go to a pub and play some pool and drink some beers. Like, it's alright, but it's not really like I'm sure most people don't see their dream life in a pub drinking and playing pool. Like, that's just something that you do to like get past the day. Do you know what I mean? Not really thinking long term. So yeah. And the point I wanted to get across in this video was healing isn't pretty, but neither's not healing. So, for years I'd put myself off from doing these things. Like, I kind of dabbled with it, but I prolonged it. Like, it took 5 years to get to, or 6 years, whatever, to get where I am now. But that could have took like, maybe, I don't even know what a time frame is. Insert the blank here. It could be whatever. It could be a year, it could be like half a year, it could be 2 years. I don't know, because I didn't do it that way. But what I did learn is healing isn't pretty, but neither's not healing. So you can go through your whole life and do the things that you aren't quite 100% sure about. Like, working that job which is okay. It's not really like your ideal situation, but it's at least you're not like on the streets, or you know, at least you've got money in the bank, and like at least you've got a sense of security. You know, you're quite content. You know, but you're not feeling over the moon every day. Like, of course, we have our ups and downs, but the thing is, like, you can go and live that life. That life is there for you. I guarantee there is a lot of opportunity for people to go and live that life, to go and live that mediocrity. But for me, I always knew that there was something that I was supposed to be doing, and I do believe that everyone else has that inside of them, whether they acknowledge it or not. Like, I feel like everyone has a certain gift, a certain talent, a certain message, a certain piece of information that they need to either work on, or they have inside of them that the world would love to hear. Like, it's just and everyone has this inside of them. And for me, I always knew the mediocrity wasn't the way. It was like, it's just I still work now. I still work part-time in a job that I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love the job, but it isn't what I'm here to do. I'm just using it as a tool and a learning experience to get where I want to be. Like, it's not necessarily a negative thing. It's actually the best place I've been. So like, I see it completely as a positive. I'm very happy with the situation. But it's not who I am. Do you know what I mean? It's not that it's not who I am. It's just not where I want to be forever. It's like I'm using it as like a stepping stool. Yeah, and you can go through your life and not do it, or you can focus on yourself. I believe that we already have the answers inside of us. You know, to do the things that we want to do. Like, you might not necessarily know what that thing is. The best way I can describe it is it's a bit like a sat nav. So say you want to go to this destination right here, and you are over here. There's like, you can go this way, you can go this way, you can go that way, you can go that way, you can go this way, all the way down around here. Like, you can go all these different paths, all these different ways. You can go over here, you can get close to it. Oh, we'll go around here. Yeah, come back around. Okay. There's like a certain thing, and like there's many different paths to get to this destination, but the destination always stays the same. And once you get to that destination, I think that something else ends up popping up. But the point is that you can go all these different routes, but you're still always looking for that one thing. Like, that's just how I see it. If there's anything that I want you guys to take from this video, is to focus on that thing. Like, it's gonna be painful either way. Like, it's not gonna be easy either way. Like, you're gonna have hardships, but you're also gonna have the good times. You're also gonna have the successes. You're also gonna have to figure it out for yourself. Like, you're gonna have to grow. Like, that's what it is. Like, if we all come from, fulfillment is such a better feeling than happiness. Like, when we achieve things, and when we get goals, and when we're growing, we feel better than just staying stagnant and being in that job and doing that 9 to 5 and staying there 5 days a week and then having the weekend off and then doing that again, doing it again. Like, it just feels better to grow. And the point is, either way, it's painful. Either way, it's a process. So which one are you going to take? Which one is it? I'm sure all of you would be like, well, you know, I want to take the fulfilling way, but for some reason there's something either holding people back, or maybe you don't believe you're worthy, or you feel like you're not ready, or like whatever it is. Like, we can all achieve this greater state of life. Like, it just is. It's there for the taking. And we can all take the contentment side as well. Like, it's up to us. We have to take a choice. But my point is that it's gonna be hard either way. So you might as well just go for the fucking shkabaddle. You know what I'm saying? Go for the good stuff. Take the pot of gold. Find the end of the rainbow. Go for it. Like, it's just, to me, it just makes sense. Like, it really does. And coming from someone who knows what it's like to not believe in yourself, like, I know that I've seen both sides, so it's doable, is what I'm saying, and it's more than achievable, and you're more than worthy, and I'm saying that the catalyst behind all of this is to find out who you are, and to take the time to do what you really want to do. You know, a lot of people get in relationships because they don't know what to do with themselves, right? That to me is just, why would you do it? Like, I get it, but like, come on, man, like, you're just flowing with the wind. Like, I'd rather not. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's all I wanted to get out from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can find some value from it. If you're still with me at this point, and I'm super grateful for you, what's still watching, yeah, leave me a comment letting me know, you know, like, whether you're on that path, whether you want to go on that path but you don't feel like you can get on that path just yet, and if so, then why? If you know why, I'd love to actually know, because it's just interesting to hear about other people's perspectives and how they see the world. So yeah, if you liked the video and you thought it had some value, then please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and want to see some more, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram. I'm slowly getting my way up to uploading more constantly. Yeah, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are. I'm sending blessings your way. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. So yeah, peace out. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.